There's a funny thing about people who walk through life with few or no friends. Society looks at them and instantly draws conclusions. They must be broken. Something's wrong with them. They're socially awkward, antisocial, or just failures. But psychology paints a very different picture. And if you've spent long seasons of your life walking alone, there are real, measurable reasons behind that. Reasons that say far more about your depth than your deficiencies. Let's break this down, one truth at a time. 1. You have zero tolerance for fake people. Most people can tolerate a lot of nonsense in their social circles. Masks, gossip, small betrayals, hidden motives. They treat it like background noise. But some people can't. Their mind is too aware, too observant, too sensitive to insincerity. And psychology shows that as self-awareness grows, tolerance for inauthenticity drops dramatically. That's why being friendless sometimes has nothing to do with social skill. It's about emotional intelligence. When your intuition is sharp, you notice things others don't. The forced smile, the rehearsed personality, the double-edged compliments, the tiny inconsistencies that reveal bigger truths. And truthfully, most social groups are full of these subtle red flags. People smile at you on Monday and talk about you on Tuesday. They pretend to care when they actually compete. They share your secrets with the same people they warned you about. Your brain doesn't ignore that, it picks it up instantly. And instead of fighting toxic behavior or pretending not to see it, you simply step back. You choose solitude over performance. You choose peace over pretense. Not because you don't like people, but because you value authenticity too much to settle for imitation. 2. You prefer depth over quantity in every relationship. Some people want more contacts, more followers, more friends, more noise. But deep thinkers, they want meaning. They want conversations that make the mind come alive. They want relationships that feed the soul, not drain it. And that preference alone reduces your social circle dramatically. Small talk feels pointless. Surface-level interactions feel exhausting. How's the weather? Conversations feel like sandpaper on the brain. If a topic has no substance, no emotional truth, no spark of insight, you can't engage. It's not how you're wired. You want to talk about why people act the way they do, what their fears are, what makes life meaningful, what drives ambition, what shapes personality. You want discussions that stretch you, deepen you, challenge you. But here's the reality. Meaningful connection is rare. Most people aren't comfortable going beyond the surface. They prefer lightness because depth exposes things, insecurities, truths, vulnerabilities, and a lot of people simply aren't ready for that. So, while others bond instantly over trivial things, you wait, you listen, you observe, and you hold your energy for someone who understands connection the way you do. Until then, solitude becomes the bridge between superficiality and sincerity. 3. Your brain needs more recovery time after social interaction. Let's talk biology for a moment. Psychology recognizes something called high social sensitivity, a trait where the nervous system reacts more strongly to social stimulation. In simple terms, your brain burns more energy during social interaction than the average person. You're not just exchanging words, you're reading tone, you're analyzing expressions, you're tracking emotional cues, you're interpreting body language, you're noticing inconsistencies, you're processing the interaction on multiple layers at once. No wonder it's draining. Extroverts gain energy from being around others. But you, every conversation costs you something. After socializing, your mind needs space, quiet, stillness, solitude, to reset. You need to retreat so you can come back to yourself. And this has nothing to do with disliking people. It's your biology managing energy. You're not avoiding social life. You're respecting your nervous system. This recovery cycle naturally limits how many friendships you maintain. You don't have the bandwidth for constant contact, constant updates, constant emotional labor. Your energy is precious. You use it wisely. 4. You're extremely independent and don't need external validation. Some people depend on their social circle for confidence, identity, entertainment, motivation, even decision-making. But individuals with low social dependency, a real psychological trait, operate differently. You don't need applause to feel valuable. You don't need company to feel alive. You don't need noise to avoid your thoughts. You can entertain yourself. You can think for yourself. You can solve problems without a committee. And because you're self-sufficient, friendships become a choice, not a requirement. This kind of independence often makes others misinterpret you. They think you're cold. They think you're detached. They think you don't care. But the truth is, you simply don't rely on others to hold you together. Your standards for friendship are higher because you're not trying to fill a void. You're not looking for validation or distraction. You want alignment, not attachment. You want authenticity, not dependency. Most people collect acquaintances. You collect meaning. And that alone reduces your circle dramatically. 5. Past experiences shaped a cautious, high-standard mind. Let's be honest, many people who prefer solitude weren't born that way. They learned it somewhere in their story. Trust was fractured. Maybe it was betrayal. Maybe it was childhood neglect. Maybe it was years of feeling unseen or misunderstood. Maybe it was opening up to the wrong person. Whatever it was, it taught you something powerful. Not everyone is safe. Not everyone is real. Not everyone deserves access. Psychology calls the result a trust threshold, a higher standard. People must meet before you allow them into your emotional world. You're protective now, not paranoid. You observe first. You give people time to reveal who they are. You wait for patterns, not promises. This caution isn't weakness. It's wisdom earned the hard way. And because you trust slowly, you form fewer friendships. But when you do connect, it's genuine, loyal, and deeply felt. So if you look at your life and see few or no friends, don't jump to the conclusion that something is wrong with you. In reality, here's what psychology says you likely possess: higher self-awareness, sharper intuition, deeper processing, stronger independence, more emotional sensitivity, clearer boundaries, higher standards. These traits don't make you socially broken. They make you selective. They make you intentional. They make you someone who values quality over quantity in the most important space of all, your inner world. And yes, sometimes, the people with the strongest minds walk alone for a season, but they walk with clarity. They walk with purpose. They walk with a sense of self. That doesn't depend on the crowd, because loneliness isn't the absence of people. It's the absence of connection. And solitude isn't the presence of emptiness. It's the presence of yourself.